Today I'm going to go through the process of setting up a VPN service on an ASUS router. First of all, you would need a subscription from one of your VPN provider. The VPN provider I will be using for this demonstration is ExpressVPN. I would recommend ExpressVPN as it has worked for me over the last 5 years. And it's pretty much solid. I haven't had any issues with it, and for the price, it just worked for me. So first of all, you have to log into your VPN service provider and download the OVPN configuration file for your client, as well as you would need a username and password to get connected. I have already logged in and download my VPN configuration file, as you can see here, as well as my username and password for my VPN subscription. So let's log into our router right now. The router I would be using for this demonstration would be the ASUS RT-AC86U router. Okay, this ASUS router is powered by Merlin right now. It has the Merlin third-party VPN firmware, and the firmware version on this router is the 386.7. So we will scroll down on our left here to the VPN tab. The three tabs that would be using would be VPN status, VPN director, VPN server, and VPN client. The VPN status tab would give you an overview and statistics of your VPN server and your VPN client. I currently have one VPN server right now that is configured, as well as a VPN client, as you can see right here. But we're going to be setting up, first of all, a VPN client. The VPN director is basically used for policy routing, so you can specify what traffic that you would like to send through to whichever VPN tunnel that you actually have set up. VPN server tab gives you the option to create your router as a VPN portal that you can VPN from outside of your network or your home network and gain access to any of your resources or your devices on your home network. VPN client allows you to make a connection to a VPN provider. In my case, I would be using ExpressVPN, where we can send any traffic. You can specify whichever traffic or network device on your internal home network through that specific tunnel to your VPN client. So let's get started with the VPN client. Okay, so I already have a VPN connection client already, so I'm going to configure a second VPN client tunnel. So we'd select VPN client 2, and we would want the option that the VPN would actually make a connection on the boot up of the router. So we'd select yes. We'll give it a description. We would say Express VPN, and if you want to put the where you're actually connecting to what VPN server, so it might be Los Angeles, LA. Okay, import OVPN file. This would be the VPN file that you would have downloaded from your VPN provider. In that case, I'm using ExpressVPN. So to make it easy, I am just going to import the OVPN file. Select Browse, navigate to the location, select the OVPN file, select Open, and you'd select Upload. When you select Upload, it would import all the settings into your OVPN configuration As you can see, it populates all the network settings, the address, the port number. We'll be using NAT. Inbound firewall is blocked. I would not change anything on this as yet. There are about 3 or 4 settings that would be changed. One of the most important change is accept DNS configuration. The default is relaxed, but to make sure that it uses the DNS information that is pushed by your provider, you would select exclusive. In selecting exclusive, this helps to prevent what is called DNS leaks. DNS leaks involves information that can be viewed by your ISP provider. But with exclusive, it does not. It prevents your ISP from seeing any DNS traffic that is sent through the VPN. The next option is redirect internal traffic through tunnel. It is set by default to no. So we're going to be changing this. You have 2 options or 3 options. You do not want to send any traffic, which basically ignores the VPN tunnel. Yes, all means that every single traffic on your network would be sent through your VPN connection. And the third option, which is what we'll be using, is VPN director or policy rules. This option allows you to specify any device or subnet that you would want going through the VPN only. And any other devices would use the regular ISP connection. Kill switch. This allows you to say the default is yes. What it does is that if the tunnel goes down, to prevent any of your traffic from being seen by any ISP provider or anyone on your network, this would remove or drop all internet traffic. So for now, I'm going to leave it as no. The next 3 fields that we're going to be changing would be username and password. You would get this information from your VPN subscription. So I'm just going to copy this and paste it in. This is the username and password that will be used to establish the VPN connection to your VPN provider. Okay. The final option that I would change right here would be connection retry attempts. I would set this to 0. What this does is that if the VPN connection tunnel goes down, it would automatically retry to connect to it, right? And it would do it infinitely, as you can see here. So next, we're gonna verify that all of our information is correct. One thing I realize is that once you import a file, the description is removed. So we'll have to put it back. Okay, and then we would apply. Only letters and numbers. Okay. So it does not accept any special characters. So we're going to be using underscore instead. Okay, so it's going to apply the settings. So we can test to verify if it establishes a connection to the VPN provider by selecting the service state, which is set to off. We will put it to on right now. It should give me a status. So right now it says connected, and it gives me my local IP address as well as the public IP address. So right now my connection is established. Okay, next, what we would want to do is, since we want specific devices to pass through the VPN, we're going to go to the VPN director. As you can see here, my OpenVPN connection that I just created, it says connected and it says it uses VPN director. We can also check the status on the VPN status tab. This would show all status. So as you can see here, my second VPN connection is connected and it shows the status. So right now it doesn't have any traffic going through it at all. So back to VPN director, what we're going to be doing here is we're going to be doing some selective routing. So what we can do is to add a new rule. We can say, let me check what's the IP address of this machine. Okay, my IP address is 172.16.100.74. So right now what I'm going to do is I am going to check what my current IP address is on the external interface. Okay, so my current IP address, this is my current IP address right now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is that I'm going to test the VPN director to make sure that I can route my traffic or any traffic from my device through the VPN. So the interface that I'm going to be routing it through is not my wide area network, which is my ISP. I'm going to send it to my VPN connection. It's enabled. You can put a description if you would like. And then I would select my local IP address. So that would be, I can just type it in here. That would be 172.16.100.74, and I would put my subnet mask side annotation. So that would be 32. 32 would imply that it only would be looking for this particular address alone. So I can say OK. Should add it right here, and it's going to VPN, OpenVPN 2, which is right here, and I can say apply. Okay, so what I can do now is I can test and verify that my traffic from my device is going to be routed through my ExpressVPN 2 connection. So I can go back to Google and I can see what my IP address is. Okay, so my traffic is actually being routed straight out right now. Okay, so now we know that is working. What I can do is I would be setting up my VPN server. So the VPN server, what that does is that it allows communication from the outside to be connected directly to my router that I can actually access any of the devices on the inside of my network. So right now I have it turned off, so I can select on, and it will give me all the information that I need here. On this tab, we have VPN details as in general. We have the RSA encryption, we will need that as 1024. Client will use VPN to access. If we would like the VPN connection that is coming from the outside, they would only access the LAN only, the internet only, or both. In my case, I would select both. Okay. And then I would create a user account. So let's say test. And I will add. Okay. And I would select apply. Okay. So to get some additional information to do further customization, I would open VPN details and select advanced settings. Inside here, we can change some of the settings that you would like. If there is any in particular, if you want to change the VPN subnet that will be used, we can change that inside here. So once someone logs into this VPN, this is the IP scheme that they would be getting. So they would be getting 10.16.0.1, and they would get another one with 10.16.0.2 and so forth, as this has a 24-bit mask, subnet mask. Okay, that's the only information that is needed that you can change or verify inside here. One other thing is that you would want to verify that the DNS to client is actually set to yes, so you can advertise your DNS settings to your client. If you do not advertise the DNS to clients, what is going to happen is that when a client connects to your router via VPN, they would not be able to browse the internet or access any sort of devices or any resources on the inside of your network. So this is very important. We would select apply for the changes to take effect. Okay. One other thing that we would want to do is, if we would like to have the VPN server to route traffic from that is connected to the OpenVPN server onto, we would have to make a change within VPN director. But before we can do that, what we're going to do is, in this option, you're able to export the OVPN configuration file, which can be used to distribute to any person that needs to get access. So you would select export, and it would save the OpenVPN file. So this file you can actually use to distribute to any clients, or if you want to distribute it to any of your family members so that they can get connected directly to your VPN router. Okay, so we will go back to VPN director, and what we're going to do is we're going to add a rule. We're going to add a rule that would allow the VPN clients that connect through the VPN server to be routed through our VPN client. So again, we're going to select OpenVPN 2. You would put a description, a meaningful description if you would like. So let's say VPN server true test true VPN number 2. Okay, and for the IP address, the IP address that we had was 10.16.0.0 with a /24 subnet mask. Okay, select OK. So it would route any VPN clients that connect through the VPN server and send it through the VPN client. So we'd select apply. Okay, and if you want to verify that the VPN client is working, you can download OpenVPN on your workstation and select import file, and we would select the client file. Okay, it's currently imported, but just for this purpose what we're going to do is we're going to edit the configuration because I am not able to connect back into the VPN from the outside. Well, I'm connected to the inside, so we're going to just use the internal IP address. So my router IP address is 172.16.100.1. Okay. Now we are going to test that connection. So if we go back to VPN status, you should see my connection should appear under OpenVPN 2 running right here. Okay, so let's give this a go. Okay, the username is test. Made a mistake with the connection. Okay, as you can see, the connection was established in the background here. So that's all for verifying that setting up the VPN on your ASUS RT-AC86U router. Thanks for watching.